It's Mac. Welcome back to episode 14 of Icebreaker. Episode 14 is presented by Royal LePage Dynamic Real Estate, 1450 Courtney in Winnipeg. So check them out for all your home buying and selling needs. That's royallepage.ca. And as always, we're joined by co-host AJ. AJ, how's it going?
It's been going very well. I just got my business cards. That's it. I'm the co-host of the podcast. It's going great.
You
Great.
did, eh? I wonder how did you get business cards and I didn't?
I was going to say, did you get yours yet?
No.
Oh, your name is longer than mine. It probably takes longer to print them.
Yeah, too much ink. No, it was that's funny. You have a chance to watch any of the golf today?
I did not. I was out of the house all day. I saw one TV at Costco that said Dustin Johnson was 4 under.
Okay. Well, you missed a lot.
Okay, then.
So obviously after this tournament, the top 30 make it into the Tour Championship next weekend.
Okay.
And so he was leading, and then he lost his lead, and then John Rahm had a one-shot lead. And I don't know if you saw yesterday, but John Rahm had the biggest bonehead brain fart in the history of golf. He went onto the green and he picked up his ball without marking it. So it's a one-shot penalty. And so as soon as he did it, you could see he was like, what did I just do? So it was a one-shot penalty, and he had a one-shot lead when he was in the clubhouse. So the DJ's coming down 18, makes this insane putt for birdie on 18 to force a playoff. So now Rahm's like, okay, well, I'm handing this to him because I picked my ball up without marking it. And he quoted yesterday saying, I just hope I don't lose by one stroke. So now we're in a playoff. And he makes this insane, 66-foot winding putt over a hill, up a hill, and it drops. And he went nuts, rightfully so. It was literally the craziest ending to a golf tournament. I couldn't believe my eyes with these two putts that were made. But anyways, now DJ goes into next weekend in number 1. Rahm goes in number 2. And next weekend's interesting because Dustin Johnson will start the tournament at -10. Rahm will start the tournament at -8, and it goes down from there. So whoever wins that tournament with the preceding, right? So you just win it, then you're the tour champion, and I think the purse is like $10 million.
You know how many ball markers that could buy?
Ball markers are free at every pro shop.
Oh, that's unreal. How do you rank that on top boneheaded moves in sports?
It was crazy. I couldn't believe that he did that. And he couldn't believe it either. And as soon as he threw the ball to his caddy looked at him and was like, what did you just do?
And it's like, who even does that playing amateur or just playing a casual round of golf?
Right. You always put a tee down or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen that before. I don't think I'll ever see it again.
I want to know how many views on YouTube.
Probably a lot.
Probably
a lot.
And it was we'll get the statistician to statistician.
Yeah, we gotta get our statistician.
Yeah,
to look it up. No, it was crazy, and a wild week of sports. It was some leagues and teams making a statement of solidarity and taking a couple of days off during the week.
Yeah, what a great move, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit on something else that I do, and I said I had heard from somebody that their kid asked why there was no hockey on, and he said I had to have a pretty tough conversation with my kid. I had to explain to my kid that people don't get treated fairly because they have a different color of skin than us. And if that conversation happened millions of times across North America, that's a win. That's a win for everybody.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I saw something that was really powerful to me, and it was the day before Jackie Robinson Day. And I can't remember which two teams were playing, but they warmed up and they went on the field and they're ready to go. And then they did a 42-second moment of silence to honor Jackie Robinson. And then both of their managers went like this, and the rest of the team started doing this. And then they just walked off the field. To me, that was a powerful statement.
That's doing something with the platform that you're on, and that's 100% it's not your commitment. They get paid a lot of money to pay sports, but at the same time, when you have that much exposure, you have a bit of a responsibility, I think, to jump on that.
For sure. And I think not only it wasn't just the MLB, the NBA, the NHL as well. And I think this bond is really starting to form between all professional athletes.
Yeah, I really hope there was a lot of hate going towards the NHL because they played the night of the first boycott and then they took the 2 nights off, right? And I feel like that's moot at this point. I hope there's no bad will going towards the NHL because they totally did the right thing. I like the video package they ran before the games too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it was a great statement from everybody for sure. So
And you
that
know
was
what? Again, it hasn't fixed anything, but
no,
man, do it 1,000 more times if that's what it takes.
yeah, absolutely. But now that they're back playing and sports started again, the NHL is still in round 2, right?
Round
Yeah,
two.
round 2.
Yeah.
My
The
pick of
round
the
robin threw me off because it feels like three
yes,
rounds, right?
my pick of the Avs last week isn't looking too hot right now.
Boy, you know what? Since we recorded last week and we both picked Colorado as the team to beat, since then I've rewatched the Islanders. Oh my goodness, they skate so well. And we're not changing picks or anything, but if I could, man, I'd go back in time and pick New York. They look great.
Well, you're the king of picking 3 things with 1 pick, so go ahead.
We're gonna go scrub that last pick.
Yeah. No, getting closer and closer to live hockey though.
Now that we're talking about live hockey, I had heard MJHL is happening this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the MJ Manitoba Junior Hockey League starting October 9th, and there is a team in Winnipeg, the Winnipeg Blues. So grab your tickets at winnipegblues.ca. It's pretty cool. It's an access pass. You can come to all the games, come to some of the games, use the tickets how you want. So winnipegblues.ca.
Is it the same? It's the same access pass that the Ice have, the same concept, right?
Yeah, same
So
concept.
I liked this one because you get one ticket to every game, right?
Yep.
But if you got 30 friends, you just bring them all to one game because you technically just have that amount of tickets.
Correct. Yeah,
Man,
you
I
can
love
bring a
it.
group of 10 if you want, and then take a few games off.
It's a little weird too that we're talking about even going to see hockey, man. I
I
like the
know it's
fact
exciting.
that this is high. You know what? It's junior hockey, but it's really high caliber hockey to watch.
Yeah, it is, and it's exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoy talking about it and watching it because I played in the league when I was younger. So it's cool to be able to, work within the league and see how much it's changed and how much better it's gotten.
Yeah, well, I used to work PA for a team in Thunder Bay, Ontario, the Thunder Bay North Stars, and it's one heck of a. It's such a little family crowd of people rooting for these kids, and it's fast paced. It's rough hockey. I'm excited that we get to watch live sports. I guess is
Yep,
what I'm saying.
no question. So I sent you a text during the week, and I was watching a baseball game, and
Oh
I
yeah,
said, I heard someone come out to a walkout song for their at bat, and you can really hear them now, right? Because there's no crowd.
that's right.
You can really hear the walkout songs. Like before, I would notice it when I was at games, right? When I was in Boston and I was at Fenway, I could hear the songs and some of the guys.
Very very loud in the stadium.
Yes, but on TV, you don't really hear it that often. So it got me
Yeah.
thinking. I said, I texted you. I said, top 3 walkout songs. What would they be? So that's what we're gonna go with here today. And always, you get the first pick.
Okay. And it's not even worth it this time because I don't think you would have ever picked this. It's a bit of a throwaway, but I like it. It's by the band The Offspring, and it's a song called "Hit That."
Okay.
You know you want to hit that. I know you want to hit that, and come on.
Get you right. Put your mind on it, right? You got to hit the ball.
What do you want to do when you get up to bat, Mac? You want to hit that?
So I'm going to take a way different approach on this.
No way.
I think walkout songs are all about, getting you fired up, but what gets you fired up is getting the crowd into it, right?
Okay, I like that.
So the no-brainer for me for a walk-up song for number 1 is the Friends theme song. You cannot not sing along.
Okay, I'm gonna reference your frame of or your thought process later on with a pick, but I was trying to think of a song, and I was like, "What's a song that would get the crowd clapping before my at bat?" And just everybody.
Yes.
That's a good pick. My number 2 pick is actually a song that not a lot of people like. It gets bad reviews from baseball fans. It's the saxophone part of the song "Careless Whisper."
Okay.
You know, you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was super scared that you're about to steal my second pick and you're gonna
No,
die.
no. Actually, before you make that, do you know what the band's name is that sings "Careless Whisper"?
No.
Wham.
Wham.
As in kabloomy.
There you
Home
go.
run ski. Get out of here.
I see the theme starting here. Okay, you're gonna laugh at this second pick. I was at a Red Sox game, and I can't remember who had this as their walkout song, but I was like, "This is genius," and it alludes to what you just said. It's the song. I don't even know what it's called. It's a part of the song where it goes on the piano. It goes, "Everybody, clap your hands." Just get everybody clapping for you.
Song? That's good. Oh man, that's really funny. Do you think this isn't my next pick, but it has me thinking? What if somebody ever put out like a classic baseball song as their walk up, like "Sweet Caroline"?
It'd be awesome.
And they'd have to do the bop bop bops every time it came up.
Every time.
It's a good pick, but it's not my last one. Cotton Eye Joe, that'd be another good one. My last pick, "Walk the Line" by Johnny Cash. Because now you're getting in the pitcher's head. Well, I'm going to walk the line. You're going to chuck it outside.
You sure are. I think no, that's a good one. My last pick, I'm going to stray away from where I went. I had a couple in my head, but I think I got to go with the part in Thunderstruck by AC/DC where it's like, bam, bam, bam. You know that part?
I do.
Yeah. It's impossible. If you're a fan, it's impossible not to get up to that song, especially at that moment. So that would be the last one.
To get loud. I like those picks, man. So when we put together our baseball team, those are mandatory picks.
They have to be.
You only get a few songs to pick from here.
And no one gets to choose their own song. They get like a list of
people are going to pick those 6, and then everybody else gets the clap song.
Yeah, exactly. Swing and a miss. Took this show a different direction today, and I'm really excited about it. We got a Western Hockey League official who I met a few years back in Buffalo at the NHL officiating combine, and now he's reffing in the Western League, and we just got to chatting, and I thought it'd be a real cool guest to have on the show, as refs don't get to speak out that often, and I'd like to give them a chance just to hear about what goes on the ice. They're out there the whole game. They don't get a break. So that's a real interesting conversation coming up. But before we get to that, make sure to check us out on social media at Icebreaker Show with 2 W's on Twitter, Facebook, and Insta. That's at Icebreaker Show with 2 W's. Appreciate the comments. People reaching out to us on the socials. Always like engaging with you guys, and appreciate the ratings and subscriptions on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. So keep that up, keep sharing it with your friends, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for that. But without further ado, we'll bring in Bradley Parker. Brad, how's it going?
Going good, man. Yeah, real good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just hanging out. Pleasure to talk to you again, of course.
Yes, absolutely. Same to you.
So Brad and I met. We were at the National Hockey League Reffing Combine in Buffalo one summer, and there was a bunch of people there, and we were put on the same team. We went in the room, and we were in the same corner with another guy who I'll get to later, but that's where it started. So Brad's a ref. You ref in the Western League, right?
I do, yeah.
And then you do some BC League stuff as well. So how did that start? Because I know you played junior hockey in BC, and then you got into officiating.
Yeah. Played junior B for Abbotsford Pilots, played junior A for the Powell River Kings, and then basically once I was 20, kind of had to make that life choice. I had a couple school offers and stuff like that, but nothing that was really worth going for, I found. So longtime family friend, he does a lot of work with BC Hockey, officiating, and he just kind of came around and asked what I was doing and said, hey, you should give reffing a go. So
all those players were all the best refs on the ice, right?
I'll be honest.
Easy transition.
Transition was there's a lot of similarities between playing and reffing, and then it's also very, very different. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I had to apologize and break bread with a lot of with a lot of officials because they coached or they ref me. Sorry, as I was a player. So yeah, the transition was good though. I mean, I always tell everybody, honestly, it's the next best thing for me to playing. It's got that like you're still out there on the ice. The mental, physical. That's all there too. You got to be sharp every night. There's lots of differences too. Like you, as a home team, you have a home crowd that likes you. While as a ref, you don't have a crowd that likes you. So your team is the guys that you're out there with each night doing the job. So.
I know for me that if I had to do that transition into the league that I played in, I would have to break a lot of bread as well with a lot of the guys that officiated when I was playing. Was it pretty understanding? Like I feel like you get used to that as a ref.
Yeah, definitely. You have to have a thick skin. Like, as a player, if somebody's, you can react as a player to another player. Well, as a referee, you can't. You can't do that, right? It's a different mentality. And so when I first started reffing, yeah, the referees were all very understanding and they forgave me. And honestly, I haven't met one bad official yet. Like they're all just a really good, solid group of guys. So.
You kind of brought it up. You're on the ice for 60 minutes, sometimes more, right? If it goes to overtime. How tiring does that get when you're used to maybe playing 20 minutes? You're not getting hit that much. Like I'm sure you get run into, but you're on the ice for 60 minutes.
Yeah, and you are thinking, like you're making, you're reacting to plays in like in a split of a second, right? Like it's quick, right? So yeah, as far as fatigue goes, when you're out there, you get a TV timeout, and that's your break. Otherwise, in between periods. So it's very, your cardio has to be good. Like you can't, and especially now with the league being so fast, you have to be able to skate, right? You have to be in shape. You can't. There's no more getting by like that anymore.
Well, I remember when we were at the combine there and we had to do the running test upstairs after like 7 ice times already in the day. And I was like, how do they expect anyone to complete this? But you're right. Like you don't get a break when you're out there. You gotta be ready to go. And that was like my introduction to officiating. And I was like, there's no way that you got to be in this good a shape, but you do.
Yeah, you really do. And that's one of the things that you can share from being a player is that you have to maintain your body, you have to stretch, you have to get warmed up, you have to make sure that you're getting enough rest and that you're mentally prepared for that game. Because say you're doing a game down in Portland, right? Everyone loves a ref that screws up. You stick out like a sore thumb. So right, and like there's no hiding from any of that. So it's a good challenge.
So when you're in the Western League, like, is there any players, like, I know you're planning and you're wanting to move up here, but right now, is there any players in the Western League when you're on the ice with and you're like, wow, these guys are good?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids that are like that now, man. It's just like the skill is incredible. And like I'm 27 years old, and I'm gonna sound like an old man when I say this, but like even from when I was playing, like the skill has changed. Like the entire game has changed so much. Like guys like Foot, in Kelowna there, he's like super skilled. Glass from Portland, that guy just scores at will. So there's a huge list of guys in the Western League that I think got a ton of skill, and you see it now. These guys, they all just jump into the NHL and are ready to go. It's amazing. Like Bowen Byram, obviously, I'm Vancouver local, so I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of him. And man, these guys are just incredible hockey players.
Yeah, just bring up those guys, and I just think like we have Peyton Krebs here in Winnipeg, who's with Vegas right now in the bubble. and just another guy that I had the pleasure to watch all year. And it's literally, you're right, the game has changed. I never played against players that good.
Yeah, no, no, like, yeah. I mean, I played against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins my entire life. And, you know, he was just one of those, like, I remember just like banning me or something. And our team was just like, hey, like, we weren't the greatest or whatever. Everyone just wanted to go out and just get a piece of them, right?
Yeah.
Right? Just to be like, yeah, you know, I hammered them or whatever. I stopped them kind of thing. And we couldn't. You can't. Like, the guy's just, he's always in the right spot. He's always in the right position. Like, he's just one of those players where the puck just goes to him. And I just find that even more so now with the way the game's gone and how skilled everybody is. Like, it just seems like these guys are just pulling off all these sick moves at will that I would never even think of when I was playing.
Yeah, no, I agree. So what's the path like then for an official moving up? Right now you're in the Western League. For players, you get scouted, you go to camp, you get drafted. How does it work for an official?
It's pretty similar, man. I mean, you know, there's guys, you have supervisors that come to the games. And instead of, you know, like a scout say where they can't come down after the game all the time and talk to you or whatever. A supervisor can. So I'd say there's supervisors at almost every single game. And then there's also guys from the NHL that you'll never know if they're there or not. Like, you'll never know. And there's so many guys out there that are around scouting for the league and stuff like that. So to answer your question there, I mean, you kind of just gotta go through the ranks. Getting invited to like World Juniors, under 17s, you know, those are all very great tournaments to get invited to, and I think that's definitely where you can definitely get noticed. But you can get noticed deep playoff run, Memorial Cup, you know. So it's just all about opportunities and being consistent, I think. And then when you get that opportunity, you know, you really gotta take advantage of it and show. So.
And I think what's cool about that is I mentioned earlier that there's another guy in that corner of the room that by chance, and you know, you hear about it at the combine that, you know, some of you guys are gonna be reffing in the NHL, and you're like, yeah, like tough to say, right? And then that same season, his name was Travis Gerlitz. He's now a full-time linesman in the NHL, him and his brother.
Yeah, man, and we sat beside him the entire camp, and I think we were even on the line together. So, you know, it's just it's crazy. Like, you just never know what can happen, and you know, it's really cool.
I want to get down to the good stuff now. What's something you could tell me that's happened on the ice in your officiating career that kind of took you back a little bit?
Like as far as what? You gotta give me something here to work with, Mac. There's so much, buddy.
So if you're breaking up a fight, have you ever been socked with one?
No, thankfully. I've had my helmet knocked off though, and that was pretty cool because there's a crowd, so it was like I'm buzzing around there. I'm buzzing around there as if I just got in the fight with no helmet on. No, man. As being I'm a linesman, so as a linesman, every fight's a different story, especially if it's a good one. Like there's been some heavy shots that I've like been basically front row seats watching. I don't know if I have honestly really too many crazy stories. It's just like
it's normal.
Yeah, it is, man. And you know, we're out there for the players. Like as a linesman, like I'm out there to protect the players. Like if two guys are fighting and I see the one guy's in danger, like I got your back, man. Like we're going in there. Me and my partner, we are in there. We keep you safe, right? So honestly, no. Fortunately, I don't have too many crazy scenarios. Been through a lot of overtimes and stuff like that. Long games and playoff runs, but
that's gotta get tiring.
And that gets tiring. It's just like being a player, man. Your feet just start to feel. Your feet and your legs feel like lead, right? They feel like they're 1,000 pounds. So
And unfortunately, when you're an official, you don't have a coach to bench you, right? In a long overtime game, you have to literally stay out there.
Yeah. That's what I said. You, as an official, you really appreciate those TV or radio timeouts.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
could only imagine. So I remember when we were at the camp, they played that like over the speakers, the entrance into Chicago Blackhawks game or something.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They had us close our eyes. What's like a crowd that you've officiated in front of? Like you're out there, you skate out there, and you're kind of like, oh boy, like this is a big one.
That would be, I'd say, last New Year's, 2019. I was fortunate enough to get the Portland Winterhawks assignment, and they basically sell out the Moda, which is where the Trailblazers play. So I think there's probably like 10,000 people there, and the place is just jumping, right? Like it's New Year's, everyone's in a good mood. So yeah, like, and in a game like that, when there's that many people and they're that loud, like you'd be surprised. Like you have to wail on your whistle to even like get a player like next to you almost to hear it. Like it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
That's pretty cool. You don't have to answer this one, but I gotta ask it. Are there any calls that you've made and you after you've made them, it's a split decision second. You've made it, and you're kind of like, oh no, that wasn't right.
Yeah, no, I can answer that. It happens. It definitely happens. Nobody's perfect, right? Refs aren't perfect. Players aren't perfect. I think it's just all about understanding and looking back on, okay, that wasn't the right call. How can I prevent that from happening next time? How can I learn from this? You know.
Are coaches understanding that? Like, would you ever admit that in a game or no?
Yeah. Coaches, for the most part, they mainly just want honesty. Really,
Right.
They're smart, right? Like, especially when you get to the Western Hockey League, all those coaches are very, very good coaches. They've been around hockey for a very long time. A lot of them have played pro, a lot of them coach pro. So if you screw up and it's obvious and you know it and the coach knows it and the team knows it, I think the worst thing you could do would be to skate by that bench and say, no, that didn't happen. Like that was my fault, or like that's the right call. I think in a situation where it's that obvious, or like if you're confident that you screwed that up, then just go and tell them. Yeah. And if you do, it usually diffuses that situation a lot more. Whereas if you go over and pretend that you're perfect, so.
Yeah, no, I figured that. Well, listen, Brad, I appreciate you joining us today, and hopefully our paths can cross at some point this season. Maybe grab a pint or two in a BC watering hole. But appreciate it.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's do it. See you, buddy.
As always, thanks for listening to the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I had a great chat with Brad there. And as always, thanks for listening to the show, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check us out on social media at Icebreaker Show with 2 W's. That's at Icebreaker Show with 2 W's. And I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.